background was in 9 years in teaching, but then I did 2 years in tech sales. And I think because as a teacher, you pinch every penny and the money that you spend goes to your classroom. I was used to living off of very little. So when I got into tech sales and I was doing really well, I was like, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to be doing with all this money?" So I was like, "Let me start a business." And I started a business. It was like, I don't know that much about business. I want a lot of hand holding. So I started with one of those big vending companies that they say they'll do it for you and they'll do the locating for you and all that. And we gave them $220,000. Part of it was in loans and the other part was the cash that I had. And after 6 months, they still hadn't located anything. And I got laid off. And I was like, I need to fix this because we're at 8% interest. So I started locating like crazy. I started knocking on doors. I used all my sales experience to just help me out, making connections, reaching out to all my referrals, reaching out to friends and family. And that's how I grew. I was like, it was a little bit out of desperation. I didn't tell people I just got laid off or anything, but I would tell people, I'm just like, "We're a mom and pop. We are gonna take great care of y'all because it matters a lot to us because this is our business. Thrive off this. This is how we make ends meet. So you can bet we're not just some big company. You're not just a number to us. We want to be a part of your community and be able to take care of y'all because it really helps us as well." And people resonated with that. They loved the idea of helping a mom and pop as opposed to, this giant, a lot of the big name companies like Canteen or Sodexo or It's in Reach. A lot of them will have, the same offering from location to location, or they will not service the smaller accounts as much as they should because they're like, to them, it's like, it's a numbers game to them. It's just like, we wanna spend all our time and effort on our big accounts, and so the little accounts don't get as much love and attention that they need, and I was willing to fill in that space for them. It's just like, "You mean a lot to me."
Yeah.
That is how we got started and we grew, and I'd say each year it does get easier. Because, you start to figure out, okay, what's going to be your sales pitch. You start to get really comfortable with it. You start to feel confident because it's like I've taken care of 35 locations and I've taken care of locations similar to yours. I have already an idea of what kind of foods and drinks you're going to like. And you start to make friends because the general manager at your current location is probably some point going to move to another location and be a manager there. And they might find that their vending machines are lacking and might give you a call and say, "Can you take care of us over there too?" That's how I landed 3 accounts. Just people moving to different places and saying, "We had this lady take really good care of us. She'll do it over here too." So it gets so much easier. The beginning is the hard part, of course, because you don't know anybody. You don't even know yourself. You don't even know what you want to offer, what your brand is. But as that becomes more concrete, that it's just like this is who we are, this is our identity. Those that find that to be endearing, it's going to resonate with them, and they're going to tell people about you, and it's just going to get so much simpler.
That's incredible, incredible story to have to start out at that point. And I know probably thinking about in the past, it kind of can be, you know, nerve wracking. Think, oh, that's for a lot, but you got through it. You pushed through it, and every time period of chunk, you got past that and to where you are today, and it's incredible, man. Well,
Yeah, I'm glad now 3 years later, I'm glad I got laid off, but that first year I was crying. It was hard, and I was doing odd jobs or working different ways to just make ends meet until this vending picked up. So that's another thing I know people will talk about, when does this become a full-time job? When you can afford to make it a full-time job. In the meantime, it helps if you have something flexible that it's like if I need to run and go fix a machine, I can go do that, or at least sometime during the day to take care of them. And that's what I did. I did other social media jobs to make ends meet, and it was first a full-time social media job that had flexibility with me to do vending. Then I had a part-time job. Then this became my full-time job, and now it's back to being a part-time because I'm pregnant and I have a full-timer who's helping with everything.
Amazing. It takes real vision, structure, and execution to get to the point that you just described. And so that's why I know if anybody chats with you, that they'll be getting insights that just are not typically available unless you are truly can think that way. And, you know, because bending the ecosystem has something for everybody. When you're talking to somebody who has a hand in all of it, then you know you're in good hands. So the idea is, yeah, that's incredible. It really takes a lot to execute that timesheet and stick with the vision so much. And especially with aspect social media gig on the side, balancing it all. It's just then so you know that it's all about managing and execution. And yeah, congratulations. That's super incredible. Yeah,
Thank you.
so incredible. Absolutely. Yeah.
Uh,
And thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. I
it
really
was good
appreciate it.
talking to you, Dave, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Talk soon. Thanks so much.